that game. I just scored 60 points on Kobe. You really think I care about the game, winning the game? No, I just scored 60 on Kobe. So everybody's laughing and stuff, and we're getting on the bus, and then Karan gets on the phone. We're just going back and forth. Oh, we're just going back and forth. I remember Brendan Haywood would say, tell him you the mongoose. You tell that man I'm the black mongoose. Because I guess that's the rival, the mongoose and the mamba. The black
no one
mamba.
knows this, but a mongoose will fuck a mamba up, dude.
They also have good bikes.
So when I yelled it out, he was like, all right, we'll see. I'll be there. When I come there, have that same energy. Have that same energy when I come there. Yeah, I will.
Games with Names is presented by WynnBET. Betting is a team sport, of course, so join the WynnBET team and bet with the best.
December 17th, 2006, Staples Center, Los Angeles, California.
Agent Zero.
The Black Mamba.
Mono e mono.
This is Gilbert Arenas' 60-point game.
Hello and welcome to Games with Names presented by WynnBET. I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Sam Morril, and we're on the search to find the greatest games of all time.
And today, we're talking about Gilbert Agent Zero Arenas' 60-point game against the Lakers and Kobe Bryant.
And we're going to be joined by Gilbert Arenas in just a bit. We'll check out what was going on in the world in December of 06, and we'll take a look back at both of these teams, then wrap it up by naming the game and scoring the match. This was a sick game.
Yeah. I mean, two legends. This was in the prime of Gilbert Arenas's. Like, there was like a 3-4 year period where you could argue he was probably one of the best scorers in NBA.
In the world. Yeah, it was, I mean, dude, everyone talks about like Kobe versus T-Mac or Kobe versus Vince or Kobe versus AI, but like Arenas had a stretch where he was a killer.
Yeah, just going back and watching this game, he did it in all phases of the game. He could come off the screen, shoot three. His mid-range jumper was insane. In transition, he could get to the line. He went to the line 27 times.
That's
went
crazy.
22 for 27. That's insane, isn't it? That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, except for like during the James Harden era, there was an era where Harden would just be at the line. You'd breathe on him, and he would just like shoot free throws.
Games changed.
The games changed.
Game changed.
Games with Names.
Games with names that change.
And follow Games with Names on all social media. Remember to do that. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Are we on Facebook? Is that still a thing? We're not? All right.
Maybe. We can make it a thing.
Yeah.
But also, if you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen, we are there. Comment, click, subscribe. We want to see you. We want to hear what you're talking about. We want to hear what game you want to hear. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one like
communal.
This is one I'm pumped for. I remember watching this game live and being like, holy shit. Like you knew you were watching an epic game.
Yeah. I mean, anytime Kobe was on, it was like always must-see TV. And then you throw in Gilbert Arenas, like you had to watch this game.
Kobe, I was always kind of rooting against because he was so good. And it was almost like Kobe went through that phase where it was like uncool to like Kobe because he was just winning. So I felt like the posers liked Kobe.
Yeah.
And then he kind of lost for a while and drove Shaq out and he got humbled a little. And this is like when he became cool again, I feel like.
Yeah, him, Pau Gasol, he didn't have Shaq. He was coming into his own. He was trying to learn how to win without Shaq. And exactly what you said. When guys are hot, when you're at the top, it's lonely at the top. Everyone wants to see you fall. Then he hits rock bottom. Shaq goes out and wins some titles.
Yeah.
He's still looking for it. And this is when everyone kind of got back on that Kobe train.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of Kobe in like, I think he was like fourth in the league in scoring this year. So this was maybe like the year after he was like, I'm taking every shot. He had that one weird year in the playoffs against the Suns where he just wouldn't take a shot. Being like, oh, I shoot too much. Let's see what anyone else can do. And you're like, weird time to flex, Kobe. Weird time to sink your team.
It's something. It's a characteristic in those ultra competitors that are just so petty. When someone says something about them, that they're going to do everything to. All right, you want to see it without me shooting? We're not going to shoot. But
did Tom ever do shit like that?
No, he was pretty good at compartmentalizing. You know, he he would create stories in his mind with certain things that went on, but you never saw him as a different player when we were preparing for a game or anything like that, because like that's his master strength. He can always compartmentalize regardless of what's going on in his life, going around the team, his reactions of what's happening with the front office. He was always the same guy.
Was this, Jack, was this number 8 Kobe or number 24 Kobe? I feel like it was 8.
Let me look one sec.
Because I feel like 8 Kobe and 24 Kobe, like when he was number 24, he became more of a leader. When he was 8, he was kind of like I'm the swaggy cool guy.
And the mini fro went away.
The mini fro, you're right.
Mini fro.
I loved the mini fro.
Mini fro was always cool.
I like when players look like they're in the 70s, like when a baseball player has a mustache or
Well,
an NBA player
Wallace?
has the fro. Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace. He played like a 70s player.
He did.
That big old fro, he dunk on you. What we got, Jackie?
This was 24 Kobe.
Oh, okay.
24?
Said
right.
he wanted a clean slate after Shaq was traded.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
That's the only reason.
Let's go back to December 17th, 2006. Number 1 movie, The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, and the debut of his son. Was it Jaden Smith? Jaden Smith. I shed tears every time I watch this one.
Yeah, Will Smith down his luck, trying to get back, kind of like Will Smith today in real life.
Kinda.
But no, this was a good movie.
It was insane, and it took place in San Francisco. There was a 49ers scene, so like, I just loved the movie.
Inspiring too, like the homeless just trying to save his son, and then it becomes this like successful, real story too.
Underdog story, and one of those feel good movies when you're feeling like shit.
Feels good for like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, the last 10
The
minutes.
first hour and a half, you're like, Jesus Christ, give this guy a break.
He's selling like the projector things back in the 90s. What is it? I don't know, but it was good to see that. I loved that movie.
Yeah, it was a classic. It was a good flick.
Saddam Hussein was sentenced to death by hanging in November.
Hanging is so old school.
Very, very, very old school.
They should do like an NBC show where we kill dictators with hangman. You have to guess letters, like little kids have to guess the letters.
Is R one?
And then he's just like, shit, it is one. Sorry, Saddam. You're dead.
Nintendo Wii was launched.
I loved Nintendo Wii for like 3 months, and then I was like, it's not that good.
Yeah, you got excited because you saw the bowling commercial and the hitting commercial, but if you're a real gamer, you're like, this sucks.
Yeah, it wasn't. Tennis was kind of fun.
Tennis.
But I like when they were like, it's exercise. I'm like, it was always like a fat piece of shit who was telling you this was exercise. They were like, it's like real exercise. I'm like, the boxing doing this?
But it was a good party system.
It was a good party system.
Because then everyone who didn't play games could actually come in. You guys could drink, make a drinking game out of it or something along those lines. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I had it for like, and then the next one was like GameCube.
GameCube preceded this, I believe.
Yeah.
And this was, but you're right. This was good for people that aren't gamers. It was like
gamers.
It was like the casual system because you could learn. Like your mom could come in and pick up bowling.
Yeah, it's kind of like the VHR now, or what are the virtual reality goggles that they have? Oculus. Like, all right, yeah, that's fun for like 20 minutes, and then
it's more fun in theory than execution.
Yeah, it's never gonna be.
You put it on too, and you're like, people say video games make you antisocial. Then you're literally putting goggles on, and you're in a room alone, like, and you're like, this is like the epitome of isolation.
Remember that was gonna be the tick, like. When this whole craze of like NFTs and everything, everyone's going to just have virtual reality goggles and we're not even going to leave our house. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, well, that's the way we're headed with the metaverse. That's what they're trying to get us to do.
I thought the metaverse was done.
I think they're just warming up, dude.
Are we warming up, Jackie?
Remember back when you made the Google Glass video, like 2013?
Google Glass video. I remember that 2013. We went out and did a ad for Google Glass. And I was catching punts on an off day with these Google glasses. It was not.
You didn't like it?
I mean, they didn't work. They didn't work out. It's gone.
Everybody thought that was going to be the wave too.
You never know. They could come back though. It's kind of like TikTok and Vine. Like Vine didn't make it. Now TikTok's basically Vine, and it made it. You just need some better marketers.
Yeah, I mean, MySpace started the whole thing. Friendster before that.
Maybe we'll get the Ask Jeeve goggles or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ask Jeeves.
The Hotbot. Remember that?
Man.
Hotbot. Ask Jeeves was a fucking.
How about, you know who's really hurting right now is probably Yahoo.
Are they? Yeah.
They could have been Google.
Yeah.
Could have been Google. Couldn't they have bought them or something? There was one of those things they could have bought Google early.
How about AOL? I feel like Florida is keeping AOL afloat. I feel like there's just a few old people who they still have the disc. They're like, I'm still logging on.
The dial-up sound.
That dial. Oh my God. Remember you'd be like on the phone. You'd be like, Mom, please, I'm trying to call a friend. She's like, I'm checking my mail. You couldn't be on the phone. That was crazy.
Yeah, 2002, Yahoo turned down $1 million to buy Google.
$1 million. That's kind of like Blockbuster and Netflix.
Yeah. Damn. Well,
I
I mean,
wish I
Netflix you're right. It just copied Blockbuster and then it became streaming.
No, I remember my friend had Netflix and I thought it was so lame. You had to like go online and you had to order a movie. In like 3 days, you would get a CD and you'd have it for like a month. You only watched the movie once. So what was the big thing about it? Like, I was like, this is dumb.
That's what we used to do.
I want to go to Blockbuster and I want to go like look at everything.
That was that was almost more of the date than watching the movie is picking the movie.
That was Friday night.
Yeah.
Anytime in the 90s.
It's crazy. Yeah, I was with you. I mean, the fact that the mailman had to deliver your movie.
And then
That's
they had the boxes, or is that Redbox? Redbox, didn't Netflix have a box as well?
I don't know.
Well, Borat was released in November. I like a Borat. I don't have about a Borat. I don't have the accent.
Everyone was doing that voice. That was like Let's Go Brandon before we were so divided. Remember, it was just like, that was like the apolitical Let's Go Brandon. It was that and I'm Rick James, bitch. And like every time you're like, all right, we get it. We've seen the fucking thing.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Borat was huge though. 72nd Heisman Trophy Award. Troy Smith, Ohio State quarterback.
Didn't pan out in the league. Most of those Heisman quarterbacks don't. We need to get what Heisman quarterback has done well in the NFL? There's a few.
Carson Palmer.
Didn't win a Super Bowl. Like
Tebow, no.
You know, he circumcised a kid. You know that, right? He went to the Philippines and was like giving circumcisions out.
Damn.
Like, I don't know.
That is the weirdest sentence ever.
I think that's a full true story.
He went to the Philippines and circumcised the kid?
Like he was giving out circumcisions.
Damn. He was fun. He was fun in the NFL.
So he played with us for a while.
Yeah.
And there's a guy named Nico Kudovides. He was like the Lavancier of the locker room. Like he was a Greek guy, but he thought he was like Italian, and he always talked like, like this, that, New York guy. And the first day we signed Tebow, he just looks over, he goes, "Hey, Tebow, you mean to tell me you don't jack off?" Like, this guy's got this, and he has a stigma, like an aura about him when he walks into somewhere. He's a popular guy. Everyone knows who Tim Tebow is. People love him. So you can get a little intimidated. I didn't say anything.
What did Tebow say?
He just kind of shook it off and laughed. Like he's probably gotten those jokes from locker rooms a bunch, but it's funny. They
should have kept it going. They should have been like, "Whip it out, dude. Let's see it. Come on, Tebow.
Prove it.
Prove it." Does he not jack off?
I think he was just being a smart ass. Nico.
Jack, get on that.
Yeah, let me look these up.
Let's see. Your Google search is going to be rough.
You might have to go to YouPorn for that one.
Yeah, Tim Tebow whacking it.
I'll do some digging.
He must whack off. I think that's got to be a detriment at a certain point if you never get a release.
Yeah. I think it's a religion thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
So the NBA in 2006, the San Antonio Spurs swept the Cleveland Cavaliers in the finals, LeBron's first finals.
That was his baptism.
Yeah.
Baptism by the big fundamental.
Tim Duncan was unreal. And also, he had no help. LeBron was young. Sure, he was a little young to be here, but who was the second best player? Boobie Gibson? Sasha Pavlovich? Ilgauskas, Big Z. Ilgauskas.
I was in Cleveland when this was happening. There was such a energy in Northeast Ohio with LeBron and his young, he was just a monster everywhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
How old was he? He was like his third year in the league.
Yeah, it's insane. He made the final 3 years in. Yeah, with like no He really had no help on this team. He didn't even have like Anton Jameson yet. He had no. Did he have Mo Williams?
He did not have Mo. He had Scott Pollard. He had Eric Snow, David Wesley, Dwayne Jones, Larry Hughes, Drew Gooden.
Exactly. He had no one. Yeah.
No disrespect to those guys, but that's insane.
Remember when Drew Gooden had the patch in the back of his head?
It was awful.
That was awesome.
That was not good. You remember that? He didn't have any hair except one little patch in the back of his head.
That's kind of tight. Rat tail?
It wasn't even a rat tail.
He was trying to get it to be a rat tail, maybe though. It was like pre-stage rat tail, but then sometimes if you're growing your hair out, you gotta stick through the ugly stage.
I know. You got to get the whole hair. It's like when you do a mustache. If you did a mustache now, it'd be fine. But if you just grew the mustache, you know?
Yeah, we should kind of like how Sam holds his all the time.
Sam's got a good stash.
Yeah, that dirty Sanchez.
The Mavs were 65-15 this year. The Suns were 61-21. Two killer regular season teams that just didn't have the juice.
That was Steve Nash Suns, huh?
They were fucking fun.
Amari Stoudemire.
7 seconds or less.
See, I remember the West Coast teams a lot more at this point because I was still in the West Coast maybe at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's isn't it crazy with sports? Unless you watch SportsCenter 24/7 at that time, you were only like limited to who you had on TV.
There was no league pass yet, I don't think.
No.
NBA TV was just becoming a thing, I think.
Yeah.
But Kobe was the scoring leader, 31 a game. MVP Dirk, he was killing it. Rookie of the Year Brandon Roy was like one of the ultimate what ifs. That guy was phenomenal, and his knee, he just had like no cartilage in his knees, right?
It's the worst. I feel bad for him. I know how you feel, buddy.
It's almost worse than not being able to jack off.
Tebow.
That stinks. No, he was. He also got shot recently, Brandon Roy.
Oof.
He's just had like bad luck.
When it rains, it pours, buddy. When it rains, it pours.
DPOY Marcus Camby. He was a man.
Isaiah Thomas took over as the Knicks coach. I thought that would have been a good match.
That was terrible. I mean, that was like one of the worst periods as a Knicks fan. He just didn't have what it takes to be a good coach.
Yeah.
He was good, I guess, with the Pacers, but problem was he was the GM before this. So he signed these horrible contracts and then he had to play them. So I was like, this is your fault. You literally can't blame anyone but you.
When you got all control,
yeah,
you can't blame anyone. So you better be pointing that thumb to yourself, buddy. Adidas became the official outfitter of the league.
Yeah, this is before they employed anti-Semites.
Well, them and Puma.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they were brothers. You know that.
Puma and Adidas were brothers?
Yeah, those were brothers. They broke off. One took the Adidas name and one made Puma.
Damn.
Yeah, gnarly. Remember those space shoes, Adidas, Kobe's first shoe?
Oh, those were horrible. They look like bricks, right?
Yeah, well, those are the coolest. That's what all the kids wear nowadays.
The Kobe's?
No, like just brick-looking shoes, like these fat shoes, big old blocky clunkers.
Yeah, the Kobe Adidas?
The original. They're on the top left, or that left one.
Those are awful. What are we doing here?
What?
It looks like a Volvo.
They're
safe. They're safe.
They're safe.
That is true. They've support.
Look at that. Like
Who's
Volvo.
wearing those? What is that?
I
It looks like one of those
like.
winter puffers. Those jackets, you know?
Yeah. Longtime Boston Celtics coach and executive Red Auerbach died October 28th.
Legend. Straight
heart
legend.
attack. It's always funny to hear stories about old Red. Anytime he was in the arena, everyone knew because you just smelt a cigar.
Yeah.
There were no non-smoking laws for Red anywhere.
Shout out to him making it to 89 the way he looked and lived. He was not a healthy man.
He couldn't have been. He had a cigar in his mouth at all times. One cigar is like 50 cigarettes.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is? Something like that?
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it
they
50
say like
cigarettes?
they say like one cigar is like 15 cigarettes.
You're not inhaling, right?
Yeah, right. If you're a fucking pro like Red, he's definitely inhaling that bad boy.
You think he's inhaling a little bit?
100.
Yeah, he was, I mean, as big a Boston legend as you can be. I mean, the architect of those teams, started as a coach, became the front office.
JB always talks about him
Yeah.
on Inside the NFL. He said that's who told me that story. Anytime you were in an arena and you smelled a cigar, you knew Red was around.
I think Paul Pierce said it when he came on too.
And Paul.
They're saying here one small cigar is the same as 1.5 cigarettes. Red wasn't smoking a small.
He wasn't smoking. He knows nothing small about anything on Red.
Also, that ratio sounds like it can't be right.
Yeah.
Cigars are so much cooler than cigarettes. Cigarettes, you look like it's like a nervous energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cigars, you're just like chilling.
It depends on how you smoke a cigarette. I mean, some guys look pretty cool doing it.
It looks cool, but there's something about a cigar that's like swaggier.
It's more like vacation vibe.
Exactly.
Cigarettes, like you said, like, all right, I gotta get this stress off here real quick. Let me just take down one of these ciggies.
Yeah, cigarettes, like, where the fuck is that missing girl? You know, a cigar is just like, I got some stock options for you. I'll help out. What were you doing in 2006, Jules? You were at Kent State, right?
It was my first year at Kent State. Man, I was like open to a whole new world. Going to the Midwest. I never left California before this, other than I went to Florida once. But it was crazy to me.
You were QB.
I was QB in it at Kent, living over in Silver Meadows, getting robbed. I got robbed. Someone came in and robbed my TV, my flat screen.
While you were there?
No, I was at class, so it was definitely an inside job. We used to hold poker tournaments there. And so I used to go to these full inside job, Xbox, and I had a plasma TV, which was huge back in the day.
Yeah, plasma was big.
And so one day I go to like this poker tournament. Like we used to go to these like illegal poker tournaments. We're probably gonna get in trouble for this, but go like 40 miles away from Kent in some like podunk, Ohio town. And there's a scratch on my TV that I knew. And I walk into this game, and I see my fucking TV with the exact same thing. I'm like, what? So I sat there and I was fuming the whole time I was playing. I was like, who fucking stole my shit? And so I had a Queen 8, and this was a cash game. It wasn't a tournament. And it was like $1,000 hand, and that's huge hand for when you're in college. And I fucking I rivered like the nuts. Won the hand. I grabbed all my money and I said, that's my fucking TV. I picked up the TV and I left.
Whoa.
I was so fucking rad.
So there was someone at the game who jacked you.
Someone. I was like, who the fuck, where'd you get this TV? Picked up the TV, picked up my money, gave a spit. And I was like, let's go.
That's badass, dude.
It was pretty badass, but I was so hot and I was ready to fight. I was like ready, like I thought someone was going to
Were you the biggest dude there?
No. I'm a 5'10", bro.
I know, but you're fucking yoked, dude.
Yeah, I was a quarterback at the time.
Yeah, but you were still probably a jack quarterback, no?
I was a little jacked. I was pretty jacked. I mean, but nothing crazy. But
I've got Julian Edelman shredded on my Google search.
Do you?
Yeah, because I was trying to show my trainer. I was like, look how jacked he is. But now if you look at my Google search, people are like, why is he looking up jacked pictures of Julian? But it's to show my trainer. I'm like, look at that.
Well, on my Google search, it says Sam Morril funny.
Nothing came up.
No, I was looking for jokes.
Struck out.
I was looking for jokes for this podcast. Can't be showing up. This guy throws out a funny joke every time. I have nothing to come back with.
You're killing it, man. That's a great story.
With a giggle.
I always think of that Soprano scene. Remember when Jackie Jr. and those dudes try to rob the poker game?
Yeah.
That's one of the best scenes.
It was like that.
Yeah.
I got
away, dude.
Dude, I remember my blood was pumping so hard. I was like, oh yeah, just got a hand, got my TV back. Fuck yeah.
I love that. That's fucking badass.
Well, let's talk about this matchup. Oh, we got Jack.
I got the 2006 stats. 124 passer rating, 242 passing attempts seems kind of high. I would have thought less for you.
Oh, we were throwing that thing, baby. We were West Coast, spread them, shred them, get open wide, shallow.
10 TDs.
10. How many picks?
11.
Damn, those are
how many rushing TDs?
Phil Simms regular season numbers right there.
I used to rush though. I was a runner too now. Probably had a.
Let me look into those real quick.
Yeah, we'll have to get that. Let's talk about this matchup. Lakers 42-40, finished 7th in the West. Kobe was leading the NBA in scoring with 31.6 points per game. That was the year they drafted Jordan Farmar.
Jew.
In the first round.
Oh yeah, dude. Jewish representation in the NBA. There's not a lot of us.
Stoudemire.
Amari, that's true. He's our on the all Jew team. Amari is our star. Amari and Dolph Shays from like the 1950s are our guys.
These were post Shaq Lakers, not the greatest Lakers of all time.
Yeah, this is a rough team. This is Jordan Bynum, Chris Mim, Kwame Brown, Luke Walton, another Arizona guy we talked before. Lamar Odom they just got. That was the Shaq trade.
That was pre. Was that pre?
That was
Kim?
Pre who?
Didn't he take? It was pre Kim Kardashian. Just saw Lamar Odom on a flight.
Yeah. How's he doing?
It was Chloe.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, shout out.
Thanks, Yummy.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, yo. He came in like almost a little late.
Did you say hi?
No, absolutely not.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, but there's got to be like an athlete bond.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bug him. But I don't know why he wasn't. He didn't sit in first class. He sat in an exit row, maybe because he's so long.
Yeah,
that he needed the leg space, but it was still a little. I mean, because if you think they were like the pod things, maybe it wasn't enough leg space. I don't know, but
I don't know, dude. I think if you can get that pod, you're taking the pod.
Yeah, maybe it was a last second flight he needed.
That happens. That does
Last second
happen.
flight.
Benefit of the doubt. I hope he still got some money. I was a big Lamar Odom fan. New York guy, legend, 6'11", futuristic player. Like truly one of my favorite dudes to watch. Incredible talent.
And he goes in that category of if he played in now's era, he would have been great.
I think he'd be a great modern day player.
See, I mean, you say that about a lot of guys back in the day.
Sheed, I think, would have been another great modern day player. Lamar Odom was 6'11", and he had ball handling ability and could kind of just do everything.
Yeah.
He had no ego. I mean, on the court, came off the bench for the Lakers. He was a fucking all-star level player. I don't even think he ever made an all-star team, but he was on Team USA. But he was like fucking sixth man for the Lakers when they were making that run, and you're like, that's incredible.
That's humbling.
But he wanted to win, and he was great. I mean, he was a great player for the Lakers.
Yeah, no All-Stars, but NBA sixth man in 2011.
Awesome.
No, maybe one of the best players ever to never make an All-Star team without question.
And he just beat Aaron Carter in celebrity boxing.
I thought he lost.
No, he beat the crap out of him.
He just lost to someone before that, though, didn't he?
Yeah, let me look up his boxing record.
He beat Aaron. Man, if he lost to Aaron Carter, that would have been rough.
Aaron Carter.
What was he, like a Backstreet Boy or something? Oh, his brother's a
brother.
Man, if he lost to the brother of a Backstreet Boy, that's like losing to Joey Fatone's nephew or something. That's bullshit. Thank God. He's 6'11". He's got reach. He lost to someone, though, recently.
Oh, wait, he's 2-0.
He's 2-0?
2-0?
Oh, good.
That was Frank Gore. Frank Gore lost.
To Darren Williams.
Yeah.
I would not have bet on Darren Williams.
No. But he handled him a little. And I'm a Frank Gore. Frank Gore's my guy. I love Frank.
Is Frank Gore a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I mean, just longevity
100%.
alone, right? I mean, he was a beast for so long.
He's got like he's top 5 in rushing or something. He's played forever.
He was awesome for a long
longevity.
Darren Williams, though, had fucking hands. Did you see that shit?
That length had
I
him.
would have bet my life on Gore.
Me too.
Because Gore's he was known to be a boxing guy. He was always in the ring or always training in the offseason boxing.
Darren Williams looked like he could fight. Darren Williams had like a run in the NBA where he was just phenomenal, but he came to Brooklyn and it didn't really work out here in Brooklyn with that Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Darren Williams, Joe Johnson squad.
It usually doesn't work out in New York.
You know
the Knicks,
what?
at least.
The Knicks are they're going to have a year this year, dude. I don't know when this episode comes out. That's a bold prediction, but Knicks are fucking, I'm wearing the Knicks shoes. I'm wearing the Knicks hat. Let's fucking go, dude.
That's a cool Knicks hat. It's like a fire department one?
Fire department hat.
They got to make a New York Giants one for Dayball because he always wears the New York Fire Department hat.
Fucking love Dayball.
6-1?
He's fucking awesome.
He really is. He's looks like out of season Kris Kringle. Doesn't he? He looks like, Santa before he puts on, he's got a little Santa belly, but he's got
a little Tony Soprano vibe to him too.
He does.
He's got a little Soprano swag. I guess you kind of have to in Jersey. The Meadowlands.
He's from upstate New York. He's from Buffalo or Western Buffalo.
Buffalo's got definite mafia vibes. Have you been? I mean, the Italian, the Italian Defamation League is going to come after me for this one. No, the Italian food in Buffalo is some of the best you'll ever eat. I mean, really next level.
And the wings.
Yeah, that's true.
Rudy's Blue. They think they invented them. I don't know if it's true.
They will tell you they invented them.
Rudy's Blue Cheese. Shout out to Buffalo. Rudy's Blue Cheese. Gronk always used to bring it.
Really?
Yeah, you like, Jules, you got to try this blue cheese. It's my favorite. And his mom used to make a buffalo chicken dip all the time. That's a huge Buffalo thing, I feel.
Gronk is from Buffalo?
Born and raised.
I didn't know that. I can't believe
it all makes sense.
That does make sense.
It all makes sense.
Well, sorry, Jack, were you going to say something?
Dayball actually born in Canada.
Canada?
Grew up in upstate New York, though.
Yeah, it's the same shit. It's right in that
Ontario.
line. Yeah, but that's right on that line. You're right there. I mean, there's this interesting. The Wizards were 41-41. Yeah, they were swept by the Cavs in the first round. Coached by Eddie Jordan. This was a weird era. Arenas were third in scoring that year. I mean, people forget how good he was. They had Anton Jameson, who was like, honestly, I know I say this a lot, another guy who would almost be better in today's NBA because he was a stretch four. It was almost before the time of the stretch four.
Did he have the headband?
He played sometimes with a headband. North Carolina guy.
Yeah.
One fun fact about Anton Jameson, I believe they traded him and Vince Carter on draft night. I could be wrong there, but they were both Tar Heels, and I think, was that right?
Let me see here. The Warriors traded North Carolina's Vince Carter, the number 5 pick, to the Raptors for Tar Heel teammate Antoine Jameson.
That's fucking weird. You traded for your Tar Heel teammate. I mean, that's how stacked that North Carolina team was. They had Caron Butler on this team, who I loved watching Caron Butler. He was like a tough, gritty player. Could score, but he was like your defensive stopper guy. He was a killer. Deshaun Stevenson, NBA champ with the Mavs. This was like, he was a good player here. This was before he took like that next step, I think.
They were always a sexy team, the Wizards, these few years. They always like were competitive. Always had like a crazy night like Gilbert had tonight.
They were a sexy team. They were like a fun video game team because of Gilbert and because of Caron. And
exactly.
They were a fun team for sure. Great offensive team, but they didn't play D. Other than Butler and maybe a little bit was Brendan Haywood on this team. He was a good shot blocker, but
let's get into the game. Gil got out to a hot start with 12 in the first. Seemed like he was hitting everything.
It was so fun to watch him. I mean, that step back was beautiful. Like, I was trying to think of modern players that play like him. I couldn't even think of one.
No, because all modern players do is just shoot threes.
But he had that nice mid-range.
Mid-range. He was just hitting mid-range all game.
And also he had that weird little like kind of step back off the glass. He had that like smooth game. This era was a cool era.
Isn't it? It's crazy to me how well NBA players know the backboard.
I love it.
Don't you know what I mean?
That's the only shot I have consistently in the park is I will hit bank shots because I grew up watching Tim Duncan and they're like, ugh, you fucking boring ass white guy. It's literally how I score.
Banks are always closed
Glass
for me.
is there for a reason.
Banks are always closed for me.
Yeah, you don't do the bank shot?
No, not
It's a smart shot.
Yeah, it is. I'm just not good at it.
Do you know who had a great bank shot? Dwayne Wade. No one talks about that shit, but he was like automatic off the glass. He made it look cooler. Like Tim Duncan, everyone was like, man, whatever. Tim, by the way, one of the coolest players ever. Doesn't get his due as like a cool player, but to me, I think winning's fucking cool.
I do too. Winning's fun.
Yeah. Gil had 43 in the second half. That's fucking insane.
Kobe still had 45 in this game. It was fun watching them go back and forth.
Yeah.
I got some questions about that. I guess they used to talk shit through Walton.
Through Walton?
Yeah, they had like a messenger. They wouldn't talk straight to each other. They would like Walton would come up to Arenas and say like, yeah, Kobe says you're too pussy to guard him. And then, Gilbert would be like, well, you tell him I'm not going to let him post me up because he's great in the post and like go down. Like it was like a fucking full on.
Well, because they went to Arizona together, right?
Yeah.
Arenas and Walton, and then Walton is Kobe's teammate. This Laker team kind of sucked. This was pretty much like, if these games were nationally televised, it's for Kobe.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, 42 and 40. But there was a stretch where the Lakers were like not even a playoff team. Remember, like right after Shaq left? This is when they became like Kobe was so good. They
kind of like right now.
Lakers suck right now, dude.
It's hard to watch.
You know what? They should have traded Westbrook for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. Because at least then they'd have some depth in shooting. Their shooting's a fucking
They had that trade on the table?
I think they would have to give up picks, but I think you got to do that. Why do you have LeBron if you're not going to try to win?
Do you see Nurkic so disrespectful? Didn't even step out on AD the other night. You just let him jack it up.
AD, yeah, I don't know what they're doing, man. The team doesn't work. They're trying to blame everything on Westbrook. Hey, man.
I feel bad for Westbrook.
Me too. It ain't right.
I feel bad. And he's pressing so much. I mean, they're giving him wide open mid-range shots. And
he's got to hit them, though. I mean, you really do. Like, you're an NBA player. You got to hit that fucking mid-range shot, man.
Yeah.
But he is getting all of the blame. And it's like, dude, I love how they blame Frank Vogel. They just fired him. I'm like, clearly it's not the guy who won you a championship's fault. I hate that. I hate when they blame a coach when it's like the front office is doing jack shit.
Crazy thing about this game, Washington was up 17 points in the fourth quarter. And then the Mamba came out, brought them back, forced overtime. Gilbert had the chance to win it on that last shot, didn't hit it, brings it back, gives them extra time to get a little more extra points.
He would have finished
60.
He would have finished with 44 if they didn't have overtime. It's like you're bummed when you miss that shot, but then you're like, oh, wait a second. I get to stat pad a little bit.
Stat pat. Love it. Gil, 16 in overtime. Helps the Wizards get the W. Vladimir Radmanovich.
Remember him? He finished with 27. He was on that Lakers team. He was on that team. You know, he's a really fun team, that Seattle Sonics team. He was the power forward on when they had like Rashard Lewis and Ray Allen and Luke Ridnour and shit. That was a fun team. Everyone could shoot.
Can we bring Seattle team back?
Get Seattle a fucking team. These people they're great fans.
Northwestern fans are they love them.
And that's basketball towns. Washington
Huge
State.
basketball town.
Holy shit. They got like Gonzaga in Washington State. They got all those good basketball schools.
Yeah. What do you got, Jackie?
Instead, they get the damn Kraken. No NBA team, but the Kraken in the NHL. They got
That's right. The Kraken.
Basketball.
What is that, a fucking Halloween candy? Get that shit out of here.
What is it called?
What's next? The fucking Nevada Mr. Gold Bar?
The Kraken?
The Seattle Kraken. That's their NHL expansion.
What is a
team.
Kraken?
The
Kraken.
Sea Beast something.
A sea beast?
That's
Jesus Christ.
That's not I'm trying to find something good to say about that. We just looked at
lame.
The uniform. It's whatever.
Oh, speaking of lame, the Wizards, do you see their uniform this game? The gold and black? Horrible.
It looked like an international team from like the Saudi league.
the Saudi alternates?
Yeah.
These were rough jerseys.
Let's go to the gaming corner presented by WynnBET. What's the prop bet going to be?
I think we see how much beef we can get Arenas to talk shit, because he is a notorious shit talker. That's kind of what I love about him. He's almost cut from that Gary Payton trash talking cloth. I say can we get over 2.5 beefs? Like, we know he hates Kwame Brown. Can we bring up the Kwame Brown beef? Can we get him to go off on that? Who else?
Drafting the same. He probably had that edge, remember? Because he was drafted number 1.
Kwame went number 1 that year, and Arenas went 31. Arenas is a second-round pick. Jack told us before, Tony Parker was, I believe, 28th in that draft.
He was... Yeah, let me double check.
There were a lot of busts in this draft, though. There were some guys that, like Tyson Chandler went early in this draft, and he kind of sucked for the first 4 or 5 years, and then he became a great defensive guy, a winner. But, like, he had a long stretch. Eddie Curry went early. Bulls got both. And this was like a weird
Tony
draft.
Parker, 28th.
Yeah,
28.
One of the all-time steals. And also I don't know what year they got Ginobili, but he was like 50-something. The Spurs...
That was when international players were still just like soft international players.
They didn't know.
They didn't know.
We didn't know. Now it's like Luka, Jokic, all these like
international
Giannis.
The international players caught up.
Oh, dude,
they're there.
It's becoming scary for the U.S. because they do in All-Star Weekend, they do World versus U.S. and now the World is getting sneaky, which, by the way, is not fair. The World,
it is.
We're taking on the World. What is this? A fucking Avengers movie?
We should. We're America. This fucking thing was made in Naismith.
We still, I still think
Mass.
we win. I still think but like, dude, they've got Joel Embiid, Giannis, Luka, Jokic. Technically, they got Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's like from the Bahamas or something. U.S., though, we got like Jimmy Butler, LeBron, Durant,
Tatum.
Who else? Steph.
Steph.
Clay,
Clay.
I mean, everyone else.
We're good. We're still good, but
Marcus Smart.
Julius Randle, New York represent. Who else?
I would just name the Celtics starting five probably for you.
That's true. DeRozan is still a killer. AD,
AD.
if he's healthy.
LeBron. Do we say LeBron?
LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron.
no doubt. Kyrie,
Kyrie.
if he
Durant.
wants to play.
If it feels like it.
James Harden.
Seems like the American guys psychologically just, they're good. They're the best, but like, you know, I mean, what are we doing, guys?
Ben Simmons International.
That's right. That helps us.
Yeah.
What about who else are we missing?
Where'd he born? Australia. Yeah.
Bradley Beal. We got killers. We got enough. Gilgis Alexander.
Yeah.
Kawhi. PG.
How's Kawhi been?
Mello.
He's been injured, but when he's
I
healthy,
know, but he hasn't been injured as of late, right?
he just started playing. He's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
he's one of the best. He's a Hall of Fame.
It'll be good to see if the Clippers can go on a run.
They're the ultimate what if team, right? Because they got John Wall, who's like a question mark, who could be great this year. They got PG, who's always
PG.
hurt. Kawhi, who's always hurt. They got the depth. Zubac.
Luke Kennard.
Kennard's a sniper, dude.
He's all right.
Maybe
what
They got my guy Marcus Morris. Gave the Knicks one of the best half seasons of my life.
Great tough guy.
Love Mook.
tough guy ticket.
So just to lock it in here, 2.5. We thinking 2.5 over under.
Yeah, we're 2.5. We're gonna get him to talk about 3 beefs.
I think the Kobe beef is like got to be in there because I think
Got
there's love, but there's definitely beef. And then the Kwame is a straight up beef, and I bet we can milk out.
It's like a
give us
beef
some
and
other.
cheddar.
Who else did you hate?
Hmm?
We'll say we can even preface a question like, who else did you hate? And he's not a guy who I think has to think about it.
This question is brought to you by Arby's. Who's your biggest beef? Where's the beef?
We do deserve an Arby's plug after that. Give us some free Arby's.
We
I've
talked
never
about
had
Arby's
Arby's.
yesterday, didn't we?
We were talking Arby's a couple
I've
days.
never had Arby's.
What?
I've never had
What?
it. I know. It's
all
like the
right.
only fast food I've never had.
Good. It's good. The Arby's sauce, you need to drench it in Arby's sauce.
Yeah, the horseradish.
No, it's like a fucking, it's almost like a Heinz 57 barbecue sweet sauce thingy. I don't know. That was like my parents' first date was at Arby's.
Ah, that's beautiful.
So nostalgic to me.
All right, well, we're going to be joined by Gilbert Arenas right after this break. Football playoffs are coming up. Who's going to make it?
I am.
I know one thing for sure. I'll be betting on it using the WynnBET app. And if you want to join us, download the app and use promo code XGWN. Why those letters? I don't know. Seems confusing.
Very.
XGWN. And when you bet $25, you get $50. That's free cash money.
Wow.
Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 or older to participate.
Thanks for joining us, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
But
Excited to have you, man. 3-time All-Star, Agent Zero. Loved watching you during this era. This was such a fun time. All-NBA second team, 2-time All-NBA third team, most improved player in 2003. I remember, I think I picked you in fantasy that year. You were on the Warriors. That was, I believe, I picked you early and I got some shit and I was like, watch. And you delivered. You had a big year. And holds the Wizards record for points in a game. I think you passed Earl the Pearl in this game.
Yeah.
No small feat. Black Jesus, that guy ruled. Ex-Nick, that's our guy here. Cover player for NBA Live 2008. And yeah, thanks for joining us, man.
Oh, that shit. I forgot I did all that in such a short time.
what are you doing these days? What's post-retirement looking like?
Just like you guys, podcasting, trying to, be one of those athletes that, that gets to show the human side of them. When you're an athlete, you have to play by the media rules a little bit with answering questions. So you become, robotic, now that I'm podcasting, you just get to lay it all out there.
This was an awesome, we're doing the game where you drop 60 on Kobe, which is, I remember watching live. I remember rooting. I wasn't a Wizards fan, but I rooted for you I kind of couldn't root for Kobe. I feel like all the he was like, it was like almost fair weather to root for Kobe. He was so beloved at the time. So I was like, I looked
Yeah.
at Kobe the way I looked at like Ric Flair and wrestling, where I was like, I appreciated him. And I was so happy he was a part of the league, but I couldn't pull for him, you know? So I would root for guys like you or T-Mac when I was watching, you know? And I loved watching you go off in this game. This was epic. How real was this rivalry between you and Kobe?
It actually started my rookie. I mean, the connection started in high school. He didn't know it, but he got drafted, by the Lakers. So he's the high school kid, right? He goes to Venice Beach, breaks his hand, and me and my friends, we were like, "Oh man, we missed him. Let's go back. Let's go the following week to see if he's going to show up." Not realizing he broke his hand, he would not be there. Okay, that just we're high school kids. Um, so I go there. We're playing outside. I break my hand. I break my right hand. I'm like, oh shit, I'm just like Kobe, right? So I grew my fro out and all that. So I was a big Kobe fan. And I remember when I got drafted to Golden State, 31. My friend calls me and he was like, "Yo, guess who I just ran into?" And I was like, "Oh, Kobe, right?" And he was like, "No, serious. How did you know that?" I was like, "Get the fuck out of here. You didn't run into no Kobe." He was like, "Yeah, I'm at Disneyland, and I just ran into Kobe, and I said something to him." Like, "You said something to Kobe?" I was like, "What'd you say?" I was like, um, "My boy Gilbert Arenas he's gonna kick your ass when he sees you." And he was like, "Gilbert Arenas from the Warriors?" He was like, "Yeah, that's my boy. He's gonna tear you up." He was like, "Yeah, if he ever gets off the bench."
Whoa.
And I was like, "Why would you ever say?" He knew who I was. He said my name. He was like, "Yeah, he said your name. He said you was on the bench." And I was like, "Wow, he knows me." Like I didn't care about the disc or nothing. Just he knows me. Kobe Bryant knows me. But that kind of put like the fire in me to like really start working out and really start training. And like, if Kobe knows me, man, that means everything. So like, whenever I played against the Lakers, it was just this automatic, like, great game. It was like I'm automatically on fire. So I remember even my first best game in preseason, my best game in preseason against the Lakers in Bakersfield. Um, my best game as a rookie against the Lakers. My best game, well, not my best game in my second year, but one of my better games was against the Lakers, the last game of the season. So, leading up to the 60 pointer, I was probably averaging about 29 to 32 on the Lakers already for my career. So it just seemed like just a normal game. Kobe's gonna try his mental battle with me, which he did. Started off the game saying, "All right, I got Gilbert. I'm gonna shut him down. Smush Parker, you go to Deshaun Stevenson." So I was like, "All right, hey, Kobe got to me 1-4 flat. Forget the first couple plays, right? Just to let him know it's about to be one of those games." So I start off on fire. We're going back and forth, and everything was just clicking. I didn't even know I had 60, to be honest,
Yeah.
until the announcer said it.
Now, I thought you guys, I thought like, so you guys were talking to, I thought that Luke Walton was the messenger for you guys to talk shit to each other. And how did this come about? I know you guys played together and, what was going on with this?
Arizona boys, and now he's a Laker
Yeah.
with Kobe. So he
No,
was
no,
a
no.
messenger?
Yeah, so Luke Walton was he was the go-between. He was always the go-between every game, which kind of got me hyped. That kind of got me hyped when Luke Walton always said, "Yeah, Kobe's going to he's going to stop you." And I was like, "He's not going to stop me. If he sticks me, I'm going 1-4 flat." And then what added to the fuel was Karan coming to the team.
Well, he also and Karan played with the Lakers, and then he goes to play with you. And I read something somewhere where he said he preferred playing with you because he didn't have to think about shooting the basketball.
Yeah, he'd just tell stories about Kobe was always open. He was always open. There's no triple team, double team. He was always open. So every time he got the ball, he always said, and so when you get the ball, you're already looking because you hear the sound. he'll make sounds like he's open for you to swing the ball to him. So he said you never felt comfortable when you got the ball because Kobe was already screaming for it.
So this game is fun too because Kwame Brown, same draft as you. He's picked first overall. You're picked 31st, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are playing against each other. He's on the Lakers in this game with Kobe.
Yep.
Did you guys already hate each other?
No.
Really?
Like, no, I didn't. Like it was one of those things. He got traded to the other team. We moved on. It was like I didn't know we had a problem until was it 2021. I did not know we had a problem.
Where did that come from?
So I guess back in 2004, we're in the playoffs. I don't want to say it's jealousy, but it clearly is. He was the number one pick in Washington. Michael Jordan comes back, takes a little bit of his shine. Also took a lot of pressure off of him. When Jordan leaves, here I come. I come in. Now, off that $65 million contract, I'm the highest paid player in the draft now, in our draft. So I'm one notch above the number one pick now. I won the first award in the draft. So, we had a decent first year together. I was hurt. The offense was, different for everyone. Our second year together, he didn't start the season with us. He was hurt, broke his foot in the summer, right before training camp. So Antoine Jamerson gets traded to us during that summer. So me and Antoine are back together. Me, Antoine, and Larry back together, who were my veterans in Golden State. So we're moving. So by the time Kwame comes back, he's not part of the rotation. He's not really, he don't have the offense down. He's out of shape. He's trying to figure this out. But in the meantime, the crowd don't care about none of that. So they're booing him. At home, they're just booing him. So he didn't really feel comfortable playing at home. Towards the end of the season, we're trying to figure out what our lineup's going to be. He never actually started. He never got his starting position back. Jared Jeffries basically sealed that. So going into the playoffs, we start off playing in Chicago. We dropped 0-2. I go to the paper and said, please do not boo Kwame Brown. We need all of our boos to be towards the visitors, towards Chicago.
That might as well be lighter fluid. Might as well be lighter fluid. But keep going.
I know, but
I love it. I love it. We all love that.
They booed us out of this. They booed us out of the arena. We didn't need this negativity. We didn't need it. So, coach decided that he was going to play Eton first, which was the backup center. Eton is playing well. Basically his best game of his career was that game 3 at home. We won. Kwame only played 3 minutes, and then that's where it kind of like ruffled. Is while we're doing media, everyone's celebrating. You got Sugarfoot over there fucking complaining like a little girl, talking about they not passing me the ball, and it caught me off guard. Like, pass him the ball. Did he even play? I didn't even play with him. What are you talking about? He wasn't even in the game with me today. Like, I didn't have to pass him the ball. And then he said another comment. I was like, listen, every time we pass him the ball, he don't do shit with it, right? He don't do shit with it. And then he says something else. And I said, you know what? We're better without him. All right, we're just better without that dude over there. And that was our little riff. And
big riff.
He goes home. He gets drunk. Doesn't show up to practice the next day. He basically quit. He quit on us. He basically tried to put an ultimatum. If Gilbert's playing, I'm not going to play. I'm the all-star. I made the all-star this year. The fuck are you talking about?
Agent
you
zero.
7 points,
He's agent
bro?
zero. You can't play with agent zero.
What's wrong with him? That was just ridiculous. That was just a ridiculous statement. And they're like, oh, all right. So he basically quit. And then he pulled one of those, I was afraid to go to practice because if I went to practice, I was going to slap somebody. Who's going to slap me? Who's going to slap me? Who's going to slap me? But if he did try to come slap me, I would probably ran. Let's be honest. He's big, he's a really big guy. So I wasn't going to stand there and be slapped. But, he said it and, I tried to address it, tried to pull the buff, tough guy. And then he apologized. I got him to apologize. I got him to apologize. And he said, no, it was the media, they misconstrued, my words. I didn't say I was going to slap you. And then, from there, to be honest, that game 3 was the last time I seen him, because he didn't come back for the rest of the playoffs. And then we traded him in the summer for Karan and Chucky Atkins.
See, I grew up a Warriors fan, and I remember you were there. It was you and Jay Rich, right?
Yeah, me, Jay. So my first year, Jay Rich, Troy.
Now, how come they got you out of there? Was there beef between you and Jay Rich?
No. Jay Rich was my brother. What happened was
because I was kicking myself in the head. You become Agent Zero. I'm like, why the fuck isn't he on the Warriors? What the fuck is this?
Yeah. So back then, no second rounder played past the mid-level exception. So the most they can pay me was $49 million. So they couldn't actually afford me anymore.
Okay.
So because they couldn't afford me, and I didn't want to do one of those Joe Smith's deals, under the table deals. So I ended up, they just couldn't match what Washington and other teams was offering. So I departed. But because of that, they changed the rule and made a Gilbert Arenas rule, where if your second round player gets offered more than you can afford, then you're allowed to match him without going over the luxury tax.
Gilbert, do you mind just pushing your camera a little back? Just adjust it a little bit. No.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
That's all right.
Like that?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah. So, okay. That's a crazy rule. I mean, it is crazy to think of you as a second round pick. I mean, you have got to be one of the all-time steals. You think of guys who got picked. Who is in the second one? You, Ginobili, Draymond.
And Jokic.
Jokic is a big one, yeah.
Yeah, you have Jokic. So Euros. He's the best.
It's always hard with the Euros to get a real evaluation of who they're playing out there,
Well, Jokic is he still looks fat, and he's the best player in the NBA. I mean, he's the MVP twice.
To be honest, the NBA draft and the NFL draft, I just think it's horseshit because you can't evaluate someone's mental. You can't evaluate pure talent, instinct. Me running a 4.1 40 doesn't mean I can catch the fucking ball. It doesn't mean I have quick feet laterally. Like, it just doesn't. And same thing with basketball. If I'm a top 5 pick and you never, I never get to go against the other 4 that's in front of me or other guards to really see what my motor is when I have competition facing me, then you can get lost. Some players that has that can get lost in the draft.
And they also can't measure that little thing that's in you. It's called the dog. Yeah. They can't measure that goddamn fucking dog.
Yes, you're right, and that's why so many great players slip through the draft because they don't have it down to a science.
And this dog was on display this night. First quarter, you start out pretty hot. You have 12 points, 6 for 9 from the field, 3 assists. Kobe's only got 2. From that point on, are you already feeling like you're about to have some heat? Are you feeling good, or are you still in that focused mindset?
Usually, as a scorer, I try to break it down in periods, so I don't really get too fond on how I'm doing in the first period. It's just, I just, one layup, 1 3, a free throw. That's usually my goal. So I'm not stressing about scoring or not scoring. So, it's like, okay, first quarter, average quarter, and that's that 9 points is average quarter. That's an average quarter, not a second quarter is his own quarter.
So, I mean, going against a guy like Kobe, who are the other guys in the league at this point that you're like, I want to get up for this game. I want to show up.
Okay, it's not it's not that you want to get up; you're gonna have to get up.
Yeah.
You got Iverson.
Yeah.
AI.
You got AI. You have Steve Nash, Jason Kidd. I mean, just the way he played defense. So you really had to be focused. The whole San Antonio Spurs defense, got you mentally prepared. The young Chris Paul and Darren
Right.
Williams.
People forget about Darren Williams. He was a big point guard.
Big point guard. For the most part, that was really it in my position. Most of those really hard to guard guys were shooting guards, and I had a defensive player in Deshaun Stevenson that tired himself out on that.
You scored.
I scored. That was my job. I got paid to score.
Yeah, Deshaun, great defender. I mean, you also play with Larry Hughes. You play with some really great defensive.
Yeah, I play with great. I play with great, great guys that really buckle down on defense.
So you're going into halftime. The Wizards are up. You're playing some good ball. What do you think going into halftime in a game like this?
Usually
can't sleep on Kobe. Probably you're like, we got 10 points. We can't sleep on him.
Yeah. With Kobe, it's usually you have to worry about the second half in that fourth quarter because those last 5 minutes is just all Kobe. So coming into halftime, you're always mentally just with any great superstar that if they're not having the first great half, be prepared for a dominant second half. So you want to have some type of cushion, going into the fourth quarter, last 5 minutes. So going into the halftime, it's one of those good half boys. We still gotta come out there and execute, defensively and offensively, knowing that that those last 5 minutes, the Mamba is going to be trying to will his team to this victory.
So you come out of half and exactly what you think's going to happen. Kobe starts picking it up. He gets 16 points. You tally up 12. You're still balling at this point. I mean, I was watching this game because we rewatched it. You were hitting everything from I remember that sidestep in 3 he had. Like you were hitting it from every angle. Did you know you had to just keep on going? Like I'm gonna have to hit everything tonight because this Joker's about to get hot.
No, I mean,
are you just playing the game?
Just playing the game at this point because at this point we're all playing well as a unit. Karan is hitting shots. Antoine's hitting shots. Brennan Haywood is doing his thing. So as a whole unit, we're all playing pretty well. So it was still just a normal. It was an above average night. You got to remember, I'm averaging 20. Is this
29?
20, I'm averaging 29. So it's 29 is still an average night. That's your average. So it's still average, a little bit above average going into that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and then Kobe kind of shortens the lead. Is he talking shit while he's doing this to you? Is he sending you messages through Luke Walton? Is anything coming your way from him?
No. So he did try to bait me, and the bait was, so you're just a one-sided player, huh? So won't you guard me like I'm guarding you? So you can put me in the post? Why would I want to just sit in the post the whole fucking game? Like, I'm not a post defender, because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to beat me up in the post so he can tire me on the post so I don't have no offense. So I said, nah, no thank you, right? And then I did get on him one time, and obviously he scored. And I was like, Deshaun, that's your duty, bro. I'm going to tire him out on this part, on this side of the court. So that was the only thing he really said.
So Kobe trying to bait you in, and you have a shot. Were you pissed you had that shot to hit that buzzer, or are you thinking, I'm getting more, I'm going to get that stat. I'm going to pad them stats even more now?
Oh, no,
you had that buzzer. I thought you were going to hit it too.
Yes,
I thought you were hitting it.
I did too. Like, yeah, this is it. Game winner, like game winner in LA. Because I had about 200 tickets.
Yeah, you're
for the
from
game.
there.
So, yeah, so I had all my high school basketball, JV, varsity, B's and C's. My high school coach, Howard Levine, brought the whole, basically the whole basketball program, to the game. So I was like, I'm about to do this. This is it. And on the pull up, it just didn't feel right. I don't know if I hesitated on just a natural jump shot, thinking he was going to jump, but I was moving backwards, and just the angle was off. So I blew it.
It's almost kind of
It
cooler.
was a
though.
great miss. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
great miss.
because you miss it. You're only going to give the 200 people you got tickets for a better show.
Yeah, but listen, when you're on the road and you have a chance to win that game, you want to just win it
Yeah, I
right
get
there.
For sure. But I mean, you got your 200 people that you brought. You got Jack Nicholson courtside. Is it kind of fun to drop 60 and you're like, American icon right there? This is pretty cool.
No, I mean after the game, once I realized I had 60, scoring 60 was the movie stars at that point did not matter. I scored 60 points on Kobe Bryant. That's all that registered inside the brain at that moment.
Did you ever talk to anyone in the crowd? You ever fuck with anyone in the crowd? I remember some dude got on my haircut in Philadelphia once, and I was like, fuck this guy. My haircut's sick as fuck.
No. I used to taunt the crowd. That was my thing. I used to say, oh, he's gonna get it because of you. He's gonna get it because you pay to see him. He's about to get all of these points. I'm not passing it no more. Like I'll do that to
villain
to
mentality.
The fans.
You gotta have that villain mentality.
Are these your least favorite?
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry, Gilbert. Were these your least favorite jerseys to wear? Because this was a tough era for jerseys. Some of these, the gold and black, not my favorites.
What?
You like them?
That was heat.
You like those?
Man, that was heat.
You guys aren't even have no gold or black in the uniform.
I know, but it had the stars. It had the stars on it. It just made me feel like I'm a star.
What do you,
Every time I wore that
Steelers?
jersey, I don't know. It just made me feel good. Every time I wore that jersey, someone got their ass busted. You did not want to see me in the gold.
What? So we talked about Kwame. Were there any other players that you were like, I just don't like this dude?
Like teammates?
No, I mean anything. Teammates, opponents, anyone where you're like, I don't like this guy. I want to mess this dude up.
On the court.
On the court, yeah.
No, nothing. I never had any personal problems with, any players on the court. I never took it personal. No matter how dirty they were, it kind of actually made me play.
Who was the dirtiest?
Believe it or not, John Stockton.
Oh, I believe it. He's like a QAnon guy. What are you talking about? Of course I believe it.
Oh man,
dirty little motherfucker.
He was so dirty.
Yeah,
like my first 2 years, I'm like, yo, this dude is just a dirty player, bro. he's just dirty. Like he'll pull you, elbow you, knee you. Like he did all of that.
The short shorts were just a disguise to get your mind off of how dirty he was.
Yeah, he was. I was like, oh my God, I'm glad I didn't play in the '80s. This is not basketball right here.
Who else was dirty?
Who else was a dirty player? Usually it was more bigs, like Reggie Evans, players like that. Guards weren't. Listen, most players that just were just not very good, skilled players were usually the dirty players. Like Bruce Bowen was considered a dirty player, but
try hard guys.
It didn't work on me. It didn't. That he weighed up 205. Like him, Raja Bell, like the stuff they were doing with Kobe. I didn't really get that treatment.
Well, you finished the game. I mean, you were clearly
Ron Artest.
Artest?
Yeah, Ron Artest.
Meta World Peace.
He was at the comedy
Yeah,
show
man.
this weekend, and I was like, oh shit, Ron Artest in the crowd, but he came to the late show, so I was hammered. So I flubbed the opener, and I was like, fuck, I'm bombing for Ron Artest. I turned it around, but I was like, man, bummer.
So you go out and you outscore Kobe 60 points or 16 in overtime. He only has 4. Legendary game. You find out you have 60. There's some talk that was there. Did you guys have a phone call after this? Did he call you or something? Or am I just getting terrible info?
Yeah. So what ends up happening is, so when we go in the locker room, I'm all excited, right? I scored 60 points on Kobe.
In
and
LA.
then coach says, yeah, and we won Yeah, he's like, and we won the game. I said, man, fuck that game. I just scored 60 points on Kobe. You really think I care about the game, winning the game? No, I just scored 60 on Kobe. So everybody's laughing and stuff, and we're getting on the bus, and some of what he said came out like, oh, he had no conscience. He doesn't have a conscience, so I changed my name to I don't have a conscience. And then Karan gets on the phone, and we're just going back and forth. Oh, we're just going back and forth. And I remember Brendan Haywood say, tell him you the mongoose. You tell that man I'm the black mongoose. Right?
So
because I guess that's the rival, the mongoose and the mamba, the black
No
mamba.
one knows this, but a mongoose will fuck a mamba up, dude.
they also have good bikes.
Have you watched YouTube a video of a mongoose versus a snake? The mongoose wins, dude.
Yeah, but what's so funny, it's like that is like the equal. Like, so it's like a 50-50 battle between the two. So when I yelled it out, he's like, all right, we'll see. I'll be there. When I come there, have that same energy. Have that same energy when I come there. But I will.
Would you have rather
I will.
Would you have rather have dropped 80 with an L against the Lakers
80.
and Kobe?
Maybe
80. 80.
Yeah. I mean, it's Kobe Bryant.
Come on.
I probably, that's like scoring 5 touchdowns on like Revis,
Yeah, it really is. Bragging rights
I'll take
forever.
the 80
I
points. So I'll take the 80 points in the loss because I know that 80 points is going to irritate him the rest of his life.
was this your favorite game of your career?
No.
Which one
my
was?
My favorite game was, it was 2 games later. It was in Phoenix when I dropped 54.
Yeah, you were hot. I remember you got on a hot streak.
Yeah. So with that, it was more a personal thing because if you watch the Redeem team, you'll see a glimpse of me in it. I was number 10, and I felt that because this was a Nike event, I thought they were kind of like biased against Adidas players. So, I wasn't fairly judged in my mind because, I was part of the second unit and I was the best player in the second unit. Like, I did everything for the second unit. Like, the only reason we competed with the first unit was because of me. Like, if we won games against the first unit, it was because of me. Like, Kirk Heinrich and Bruce Boynton just gave me the ball and let me just hammer that unit. It was basically like a one-man wrecking show against the starting unit.
Who else was in that lineup? Who are the bigs?
And on my team, I had Antoine Jamerson, I had Brad Miller, I had Shane Battier, I might have had Bosch with me, but I don't think I had Bosch. I think Bosch was on that side. Joe Johnson was on that side. Chris Paul was on that side. So
damn.
I had, you see where someone like me is in heaven. They told me that I'm on the bubble of making a team because I pulled my groin. Slight pull, so I was nervous. And I was like, I was being polite. I was being a real teammate. I was like, I think I pulled my groin and I don't want to hold up a position for someone else to make this. That's how cocky I was, though, for someone else to make this team because I don't know how long I'm going to be out or this is going to be lingering. And Colangelo was like, oh, don't worry, you're on a bubble anyway.
Damn.
Motherfucker. Okay. All right. Oh, okay, I'm out of here. That was the shortest flight I've ever had. The rage of what he said, like, I'm on a bubble. You got Shane Batty on that team, Bruce Bowen's on that team, and I'm on a bubble. I'm the only 2-time All NBA player on that team, and I'm on a bubble. That's all I was just running through my head the whole time. And I remember I went to Dave McMenamin, and he was my ghost writer at the time for my blog. And I remember I went to him, and right before, was it Greece? No. Was it Greece who they lost to in 2006? No, Ginobili them. Was it Ginobili them?
Argentina.
So right
Argentina.
before they lost, Argentina. So right before the game, so I did an article. It was just a straight Tupac moment. You know, I'm going to, if I can go back to college, I would score like 60 on Coach K. You know, when we play the Blazers, when we play the Suns, I'm scoring 50 against them. And I also said in the article, you can ask Dave, I said, the way Coach K is running his lineup, they're not winning gold, right? They're not winning gold. Because he had all the shooters on the bench and had all the drivers and slashers that, in the starting lineup, which made the court congested for them. And then right before the game, right before he was going to like air it, I said, just take that part out. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that everyone just hates because I said that. So he took it out. And then I remember in the morning I woke up, he said, yo, they lost. I was like, ooh. I was like, I hope this never gets out that I said that. So when we went to Phoenix, 50's on my mind. The whole team know y'all are not getting the ball. Okay? Don't even ask for the ball. Don't look for the ball. If you're open and I missed you, it was on purpose. Okay? 50 is in my brain tonight. So everyone knew I was tuned in. We're in layup line. And I got my mad face on, like, yeah, oof. And then Tony says, hey, Arenas, you're going to need more than 50 to beat us. So at this point, they're on an 18-game winning streak.
Wow.
So they're on an 18-game winning streak, and they're the number one team in the NBA at the point. So when he said that, I was like, don't worry, I will. I'm going to score more than 50 then. Went out there, had 54 and won.
Damn.
I was like, that
was a cool Suns team too. I mean, that was the fast-paced Nash, Amari, Sean Marion. I mean, that was a tough team.
Yeah, that team was. I mean, the run off 18 games, just lets you know how like mentally focused that team was, how together they were. That's just really hard to do in the NBA. 10 games, fucking 5 games is hard. Let alone, 18 games. It just means you're really dialed in as a unit and you're learning how to win games you don't supposed to win. Like the fourth game in 5 nights, scheduled losses, like games like that you're supposed to lose. And the fact that, a team like that was running off 18-game winning streaks was just amazing.
How'd life change for old Silly Gilly after he hit 60 and then 54? Did life change? Did you have an uptick? What was going on? You were getting video game covered. I mean, what's going on?
Hey, I was a rock star, baby. Like I was like a rock. You couldn't tell me nothing. I even put in a rule with the team. It wasn't a hard rule, but it was a rule. If you don't make $5 million, do not talk to me directly. I am a superstar now.
Well, Gilbert, this interview is over.
It was like talk to someone who makes $5 million. If they make $5 million, then they can relate a message.
Yeah, you got to have
Like,
Luke Walton.
Yeah. So it was one of those where, at that time we were just all as a unit, just having fun. We felt like real, like there's some teams you're on and you're an NBA team, but you don't feel like an NBA team. We felt like we were an NBA team. Like we were going places. There's people standing outside and waiting for you. It's like we made it. We're to the point where I'm famous enough to have people wait at 2 a.m. You
Was
guys
that
are
a
welcome.
problem to stay focused? I mean, you have this celebrity now, and you is the team going out and partying too much because you can?
There's just certain cities you're going to party in no matter what. Miami. Some guys go to Houston, Atlanta, LA, New York, Boston. You're going to find your hot spots to party and just let some air, let your hair down, especially if you have like a day off or something. But you have your party boys, you have your dinner guys, and then you have your, sit in the room movie guys. You have a little bit of it. You got your strip club guys, so you got your team doing what it does at a very high level.
What guy were you?
Day before the game, I was to sit in the room, order, room service and watch movies.
But sometimes you had to diversify what kind of guy you were. Sometimes you were a strip club guy, maybe, right?
Not the day before the game.
Okay, that's good.
It was, I think I learned a habit from Magic Johnson. He said it. He was like, yeah, I don't have sex the night before the game. Like, I thought that was a real thing. So I'm like, oh, that's what Magic Johnson does. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? So you have these little things that you put in your brain that you heard from superstars, right? And you try to implement them in your life. So during the season, I was like, you know what? This is the season. This is when I need to be focused. So I'm only going to go out 2 times this year. So whoever's birthday is popping, I'm going to that one. The rest of y'all can just basically fuck off.
You're, by the way, the first guest to use Magic Johnson as sex advice as a reference on this podcast. No one's done that ever. Also, I mean, he must have, if he didn't do it before a game, he must have put like 2 or 3 up on off days or something because he was a machine.
But, come on, you heard that, right? You heard him say that before back
I've
in
never heard that.
90s.
No.
I heard
do remember
Rocky,
in the
makes
Showtime
your legs weak, but that's all I heard.
In the Showtime book, I remember he loaned his car to a teammate and the car lit on fire and blew up and he didn't even care about the car, but he was mad that a girl's number was in the glove compartment. That's how much ass Magic got in the 80s.
Wow.
I mean, that was before the apps. You couldn't just, you had to have a number.
Little black
But you know how like the AC Green stories, he didn't have sex until he got, like, those are the things that, when you're a kid, you listen to and you like, this is what makes these guys great.
Yeah. We got to ask you, because we had Shane Battier on this podcast, actually, and we talked about the Duke-Arizona game.
Straight trash. Straight trash, bro.
Yeah, what's your relation like with Shane?
You were hurt though that game, right? You were hurt.
Yeah, I was hurt. I just hate all Duke players. Like, it's just one of those things that you just, if they came from Duke, you just naturally just hate them. And he was on a team that defeated us. He was a great leader. He willed that team with his leadership. That and the refs helped, but he was a great leader for that Duke team.
Now,
that beat us.
Did Coach K come try to mentor you guys after you guys lost to them? Because he was known to like go into losing teams like locker room and say, "Hey guys, I just want to say you guys had a great game plan versus us, and you all are extraordinary young men."
No, I don't think he was coming into the Luke Walton, the Lute Olson locker room, making that type of speech.
Yeah.
So Richard Jefferson said that you're the best player ever to come out of Arizona. Do you think he's right?
No, that's no cap. That's facts.
Yeah, no cap.
No cap. And I only played 2 years, and I was the best. I was the best player that ever played for that team, because you got to remember, I played with 4 all McDonald players, and I led the team in scoring. If
That
I
was a
didn't
good- it was
have
a really good team.
if I didn't have 3 of them, I would have led the nation in scoring every year.
Now, Gilly, did you take a pay cut for the first couple of years when you left Arizona?
Oh, well, they can't do nothing to me now. It felt like it. It really felt like it. Because it's not like we were getting paid from the school. I didn't get any money from the school.
Just boosters. Yeah.
Not even boosters. It's the everyday people. Like, if I'm going to Sonics, the manager's like, meal on us, you play for Arizona. You're Gilbert Arenas. Like, I'm going to the mall, it's on us, don't worry about it. Or here's a big discount. So it was just the city itself of Tucson, just looking out for,
Yeah.
the players and making sure that, we know you guys can't get jobs or get paid. So we're going to, as a community, we're going to help you guys out. So I didn't really pay for anything.
It's insane you guys didn't get paid when you're making
Well,
the school money like that.
The Florida football guys that I played with for a long time, they were always complaining about the pay cuts. So never happened at Kent State. I went to a shitty school.
Do you think this game is Richard Jefferson's fault? Because I've heard you say that before.
Yes, 100%. Like, no, listen, he doesn't think so because he had his best game of the tournament, right? It was his best game of the tournament. I'm really disappointed with how they draft and how did he make the lottery or right after the lottery when he averaged 10 points all 3 years of college. Exactly 10. Like, he didn't move up. Like, he didn't get better. So how did this guy become a lottery pick? So because he had his best game of his career, but the guy he was guarding also had the best game of his tournament life, Dunleavy. Dunleavy was having a horrible tournament. And he goes off. Like, Dunleavy literally beat us that game.
3 straight threes, right?
Yeah.
Felt like 10.
We got to get back to the 60-point game. Our podcast's name is Games with Names. What do we name this game? What should we name it?
The speed limit. I hit the speed limit on him.
Speed limit.
Well, the speed limit on the freeway is 60, right?
65 some places, 70 in others, but a lot of places 60, I do believe, yeah.
Okay, see, there you go right there.
You can never hit 60 in LA, though. The cars never move.
And that's why it's called the speed limit game.
The speed limit.
So much goddamn traffic out there, you ain't going 60 unless you're Agent Zero.
Yeah. See, it's hard to do. That's why only 2 people has done it. Me and Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt the Stilt.
What did we miss anything about this game or about just this time in the NBA?
It's just one of those times where when you look at today's game and you're saying it's a faster game, when we had an era where you have a guy who averaged 35, a guy who averaged 33, 31, and I'm fourth in scoring at 29. This is what, 15 years ago. And we're in a faster paced game today. It lets you know like something's not really adding up.
A lot of 3 balls. Just a lot of 3 balls. Those add up.
Yeah.
That's all.
Who do you like watching now?
Now, I like a little bit of everybody. I don't really have favorite, so I like, Ja, like Luka, Joker, Tatum, Brown, of course, Kyrie, KD, LeBron, Curry, love Booker over there, Trae Young, Dame Lillard, basically all the superstars,
Game respects game.
Ben Simmons. I like the way he plays the game.
Ben?
Yeah, he just doesn't do what he can't do. And if he can't do it, he's not going to do it, no matter, you know. Like, I would love playing with a guy who really don't want to shoot like that. You know, a guy who's just going to give me the ball the whole time. Fucking.
Do
Can't
you
say
ever
shit
get
about
mad
him.
though that like you're like, dude, you're an NBA player. He's his form. It's like weird when a guy like that, his form looks right and he just doesn't ever take it. You know?
What's so funny is I've watched him train weeks of it, and he's a good shooter. Like, he's actually a good shooter. Like, I sat there and just watch him, and I'm like, I'm looking at his form, I'm looking at his feet. I'm like, what the hell's going on with you? Like, why isn't it translating to the game? And I don't know if you have this in football, but there's just certain type of players that just can't shoot. And it's because of their speed. They're too fast. It sounds like a weird thing.
Well, it's like
but
catching
they're
the ball.
too fast.
It's like catching the ball. Some guys are too fast to catch the ball. Their eyes are bouncing. They can't concentrate in a high pressure situation, and they're wide ass open, but they're running so fast. Their arms are. They don't catch the ball. They don't. It's a focus factor. It's tough.
Yeah.
And you get the yips sometimes. You know, confidence goes a long way in catching or in shooting.
Mm-hmm.
That was like you always had like, you know, everyone drops a ball, and then sometimes you're like, damn. That fucks up your confidence. You got to get out of that. You know, it's like anything, but you gotta be able to shake shit off.
Yeah, so like if you go like through history, like you look at Jason Kidd, right? Super fast, couldn't shoot. You got, you know, your Westbrook. You have
but Kidd could
Tony
shoot
Parker.
at the end of his career. Kidd shot got better.
Once they slowed down.
Yeah.
See, when you're taking that speed and you're going and you're letting your engine go and trying to stop and pull up a jumper, doesn't work with, you know. So you got the Ben Simmons, you got Westbrook, and that's their problem. They have too much speed and torque. So when they try to stop, it just messes up everything.
But Westbrook's shot has gotten worse, I think, over time.
Right. Like, that is I felt like he was making a great stride around, and when he was in OKC, that third, fourth year, pulling up that mid-range jumper, that little mid-range jumper, he was like hitting consistently. And then all of a sudden, it just seems like
he's pressing. He's just pressing now.
I just think, you know, he's just playing out of position at this point. You know, he's used to the ball. He's used to feeling it, getting the feel of it, getting, you know. So the fact that, you know, when he does touch it, it's like one of those things like, all right, I got to try to do something with it now. You know, more of like a two-man, you know, type of skill, and he does not have that. And it's just throwing him off. It happens. Believe it or not, it happened with LeBron. When LeBron went to Miami that first year, and they started off the season 0-8, because LeBron was playing a natural three position where Bibby was the point, he was the three, and they just wasn't clicking. And they were like, because they played against us, they got their win and their run against us. They put LeBron at the point, put Bibby at the two on the offense. So LeBron can have the ball coming full speed downhill. And then they went on a 22-game winning streak.
So note to self, if you're fast, you can't shoot.
Yeah, a bummer. Can't have it all.
Can't have it all. Gilly, we appreciate you coming on, man. You were electric. You're an electric player. You're entertaining as fuck. What's your podcast name?
No Chill with Gilbert Arenas.
Everyone, go listen to it. Click subscribe
on Fubo TV. Oh, and I have a combo. So you know I was a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
So so my combo, I called you guys MJ. So whenever you scored a touchdown, it was the MJ moment because it was 12 and 11. So from 12 to 11, MJ moment, GOAT status was the GOAT status.
I love it, man. We used to have we had a play called Jordan, and it was it was our go-to play. It was an empty formation. I'm on the right, and I got a juke route. I got like 52 yards to basically get open, and that was and it was seams. You got Gronk down the seam. You got, you know, Marty B on the other seam. You got KD and on the outside. Like, so We used to always mix it up with some basketball terms.
I knew it.
I'm so
12 to
dumb
11.
that took me I thought, I just realized that's Michael Jordan for a second. I was like, Michael Jackson, 12 and 11-year-old.
You know, the MJ, the GOAT. They got it's the GOAT combo.
No, now I get it. Now I know it's Michael Jordan, but it took me a sec.
And then the fact that they had the play called it going to you. Oh, legendary.
Legendary. Hey, man, I'll have to get up on your podcast one of these days. We'll have to have a no-chill moment. We'll have Sam come on, too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, fellas.
He was great. He's a fun guy, and he is no shortage of confidence.
No. It would have been crazy to see if he would have kept it together health-wise.
Yeah.
How fucking, like, he was unstoppable.
He was.
Scoring the ball.
He had it all.
He could shoot.
There were 3 years where it was like, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, he was on the cover of NBA 2K.
It was live, I think, right?
Live.
Yeah.
And this was before
Live
2K.
was the lesser game.
Yeah.
2K was better.
Live had its moment before 2K existed.
For sure.
And
Live
then
was
2K
the game.
Yeah.
And then 2K just
Yeah, right. You guys are
Dreamcast
both
came out.
amateurs. NBA Jams was the real shit.
Yeah, if you're a fucking casual, man. NBA Jam is fine.
Nah,
NBA
dude.
2K has fucking depth.
Hell no. Dude, I used to love
It's like
him.
saying you prefer Pauly Shore movies to Citizen Kane. What are you talking about?
Hey,
It's
don't
fun.
talk
It's
shit about Biodome.
Pauly Shore's fun. I'm saying Biodome is fun.
What was his thing?
But Citizen Kane is a classic.
What was his?
The Weasel?
The Weasel. I used to like Pauly Shore.
Yeah, no.
I met him
not
once,
Pauly.
too.
I liked NBA Jam.
Fair comparison? No, I'm with
That is a very fair
very,
comparison.
Very valid.
I mean, it was Sega. We were like 2 gigabytes. I don't even know what the computer term is. We had nothing.
He's heating up.
NBA Jam is a classic.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Blitz. It's in Blitz category. I get it.
Blitz is a classic too.
I know, but they're in the same
But
category.
Madden is better than Blitz.
Yeah, so it's because, 2-on-2s, gimmick. It's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick, but it's not a traditional, like, authentic type game. Jack, I see your...
Tyler's over here repping NHL hits.
I remember Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey. That shit was fun. Fights. That was the first game where you could beat the shit out of someone. That was great.
Yeah.
Just hooking dudes, throwing checks.
Never got into the NHL games.
They're a good
A
game.
lot of guys, it was so fast. My dexterity wasn't there, but my initial reaction to this game is Silly Gilly. He's just entertaining.
Yeah, he's a ideal guest on this show.
Great stories. I mean, coming out with Kobe, the fact that he got all excited when Kobe knew his name, having his boy talk shit to Kobe. And then,
But I don't think he had his boy talk shit. I think that guy just like talks shit. Like, can you imagine that? You come in the league and your boy is just like, my man's gonna fuck you up. And Kobe's like, who are you? Like, that was insane, that story.
yeah, you gotta keep the friends on lock.
But then the end of the story is like, he knew who Arenas was. I mean, that's kind of, I remember I did a roast back in the day. I was 21 years old. I did a Friars Club roast and I fucking bombed so hard. I went in cocky because there was like an audition to do it and I killed the audition. So I was like, I'm 21 years old. What the fuck do I know?
Man.
I go on and I eat shit on stage. And then a comic, Rich Voss, goes on after me and he's doing well. And then he bombs one line. He goes, you fuckers better laugh or I'm bringing Sam back up.
oh,
And it killed. And I was like, wow. I was also like, oh, it's pretty cool that he knows my name even. How sad is that?
so
I was that young. I was like, it's cool he knew what my name was. I fucking stunk.
So you were the Gilbert Arenas in that situation.
I was Gilbert in that story.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Kobe knowing who Arenas was is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
And then he really fucking knew who he was.
he loved playing in L.A. That's the second guest we said that we've talked to that said he liked playing. He
The
said,
bright lights.
yeah,
The celebs. I mean, he can say he doesn't give a shit that Nicholson's there, but you're not going to not get up for that game.
yeah. It's like seeing Spike in the fucking Garden.
Exactly.
You see Spike in the Garden, I'd be like, oh shit.
Exactly.
You don't get to see that as much in football because all the celebrities are usually in boxes.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? There's no intimacy that you get in basketball. That's the cool thing about like basketball when you're playing in front of people. You can go when you sit courtside and stuff. You could hear what the game and all that. When you don't get to experience that in football unless you're on the sideline.
Yeah.
Very rarely do you get to be on that sideline.
Jack Nicholson, he's in boxes after the game. Jack Nicholson sex joke. Guy fucked a lot in the 70s and 80s and 90s. 2000s too. I bet he slowed down. He's 85. I hope he slowed down just for his ticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll leave that. He said he'd rather lose and score 80.
That was awesome. The honesty is great. That he I want 80 because he knew it would bother Kobe more than a win.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, Kobe wanted to win at all costs.
Yeah.
I don't. Would you think Kobe would say the same thing? I don't think he would. I think Kobe would rather have 60 and win.
I think you're right.
I was always the kind of guy, if I was balling out and it was a close game, I was just praying that we won the game because you
can't feel good about it.
No, it
in the
doesn't
Patriot
matter.
locker room, right?
It doesn't matter. No one remembers lost shit.
Yeah.
Even if you go off. Like, look at, like, Gabriel last year in the playoffs had 4 touchdowns. That's fucking insane against the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round. And, like, we're talking about the Chiefs. You know what I mean? You're not talking about 4, and which I think was that a record? That could have been a record. We'll see.
It's Al Bundy shit.
Al Bundy. I love Al Bundy.
Hand in my pants on the couch, man.
Classic.
Peg.
Oh, did we hit what was the prop bet? How many beefs we could bring up?
Oh my God, we demolished it.
We demolish it. Well, we had Gilbert, who just has so much. The Kwame beef is maybe the most fun beef.
I mean, it didn't stop there either. We had John Stockton beef,
Yeah.
which we love. This is an anti-John Stockton podcast.
Fuck Stockton.
Fuck him.
Cool shorts.
Team USA basketball. He had beef with all of Duke basketball. He had beef with
Yeah, he definitely went at Battier a little bit.
Battier a little.
Yeah.
beef with NCAA refs. Beef with the national title game.
Richard Jefferson,
Beef with RJ.
his own teammate.
Beef, yes. Beef with the entire NBA draft system, which I love.
That's true. Well, I mean, you gotta be angry that you go 31 and Kwame goes 1, and you're like, that dude. You know what I mean? When I get it.
But that creates a chip on his shoulder. Maybe that made him play better.
That makes him. It's what makes Agent Zero. You know.
Exactly. What's the legacy for this game?
Just Gil going off. This is a regular season game. The stakes are non-existent. It's just a cool game. We're watching Gil.
He was hot these like next few. Didn't he have 50 and like a couple other ones?
Well,
like
he said 54 in the Suns. Yeah. And they snapped an 18-game.
Oh, he had a beef with the Suns coach.
Yep.
D'Antoni talk shit.
Remember at the Olympics or something? He had a beef with the Olympic system. You know, we can go on with the beefs.
This is a lot of beef.
Where's the beef?
He had a beef with his microphone too for a while, and the zipper on his jacket.
That's true.
That was a
Beef
beef.
central here.
He had a beef with the cordless headphones.
That's true. He's a podcaster. How the fuck can we not get his audio right?
He had a beef with the camera.
He's got a podcast.
The camera was on his neck for a while. I mean, the guy he loves beef. He's my kind of guy. I like burgers.
He likes
beef.
I still think about this era and how much joy he gave me to watch him. I mean, he really was
just fun to watch.
Just an incredible player. And I think an underappreciated and somewhat forgotten player from this era. I think you don't hear his name enough for how good he was.
No, and it goes into that category just like, Bib. You don't win one. You're not really getting the recognition. There's only like a few. You have to be super elite for a long time, like Dan Marino or Charles Barkley, for guys that didn't win it.
Sure.
That
Patrick
get
Ewing.
remembered. Patrick Ewing.
My guy.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys. You have to like, and I feel bad for those guys.
John Stockton.
Malone.
I like that they didn't win one.
Yeah, me too. Fuck the Utah Jazz, dude. Fuck Mitt Romney's dumb khakis at his game with his jersey on. I don't give a shit about Utah. Salt Lake, good people. I do like the crowds there. But
Really nice people.
Yeah.
And a lot more diverse than I thought.
Yeah, I hooked up with a Mormon once there, and she was like blown away that I had body hair. She was like, "Oh my God, you're so Jewish," and I was like, "This is the bar is so low. It's amazing."
They're very Scandinavian out there.
They are.
They're very like blonde hair, blue eye.
Oh yeah, Joseph Smith, man.
Just
you come in
whites.
You come in looking ethnic, Euro looking Jew like me. They're just like, "What the fuck is this?" It's great. 60 is the most anyone ever scored on Kobe. So that is huge. You think about the great players who went against Kobe. You weren't getting it. Kobe took it personal.
He did.
You came to the Staples Center. This was in the Staples Center. He took it personally.
And what do he call himself? The Black Mongoose?
Gilbert's the Black Mongoose.
Because the mongoose can eat the snake, the mambas.
I feel like he said 50-50. I feel like the mongoose owns the snake. We can look into that, Jack, when we forget. But Dude, I feel like the mongoose owns the snake.
I just read that a lady went missing in like Indonesia, and they found her in a boa constrictor's body.
Damn.
Like she was 54. Her husband saw a big fat snake, like a half of a body.
It's got to be a rough way to go.
Just squeeze you to death, and then it just swallows you.
Is that how they do it?
That's how they do it.
Damn.
Or was it an anaconda? It was one of the two, but regardless, that's crazy. Lasting image.
Yeah, what's the image that sticks with you of the game? To me, it's just almost like Gilbert in those ugly-ass jerseys, which he thinks are awesome.
He said he went off every time he was in them.
He loved them. I think I don't know about how you guys feel. I think they're the most hideous jerseys, but it's Gil in the ugly jersey just elevating with the jump shot. That's the image to me.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Those jerseys are. Anyone else? No, Jack?
I'm not a fan.
I mean, it almost goes in that category though that they're so ugly they're kind of cool now.
I'm not a huge fan of any of the Wizards jersey. I think the old Bullets jerseys, the Reds, are pretty fucking dope.
Oh yeah,
those are badass.
Can't go wrong with red, white, and blue, bubs.
Apparently you can. I think the Pats jerseys are cool, honestly, but I don't like the classics are not bad.
Classics are insane.
Yeah.
The Reds,
yeah,
the Reds are awesome.
Red is a cool jersey.
The new
color.
ones are the blue on blue. I guarantee they won't be using those gray pants again because they haven't worn them in 2 years or something, and they just got blown out on Monday Night Football by the Chicago Cubs. I mean, it's
not their name.
No, but they're kind of. they're baby bears.
Yeah.
You don't think of the 85 Bears when you're looking at this Bears team. Let's just say that, and the Pats got blown out.
Weren't we supposed to do Jay Cutler's podcast? What happened with that? Speaking of Bears.
I don't know, but I love Jay.
Yeah, we're supposed to do that. Jay
is a likable Aaron Rodgers.
Is he?
Like, as far as like, they both have that kind of like arrogance. Like they both. Aaron Rodgers is a way better quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but like, you know what I mean? Jay would call out his teammates. He just sat there like he had a cigarette, miserable face. Remember the cigarette memes that he always used to have? He always had a cigarette in his mouth. Show.
Yeah, what do you make of this Aaron Rodgers shit right now? I know this is like an evergreen pod, but it's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They're different types of leadership skills, I guess. Look at it.
Do you think this should just started though when they didn't retain Devontae Adams and he was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Well, you can't retain someone when you get as big of a contract as Aaron got. So
what do you think?
I think he's about trying to make money right now.
Yeah.
Like, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Does he want championships? No.
He got one
20 years ago. 12. And I love Aaron Rodgers. He's the most talented guy ever. But
no, he's not. Ever?
When you see the ball come off his hand, it's pretty sexy.
More talented than Brady?
As far as like just straight pure throwing and like it's pretty.
All right.
It's sexy.
No, he's a great player. I'm not denying it.
But the thing is, Brady, like
talented than Mahomes or Allen?
I would say his accuracy is pretty his arm is pretty elite. It's
Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning wasn't known for his arm, really. He was more known for the cerebral side of it.
All right. What did we forget, Jack?
We got a couple here. Gabe Davis was indeed does indeed hold the record for most TD receptions in a playoff game.
Yeah.
You're right,
Gabe.
brother. Spot on. Over here in the Nat Geo corner, the Mongoose is practically guaranteed to win against a black mamba.
That's what I'm saying. He said it was 50-50.
Yeah.
Mongoose destroys Mambas.
He was probably trying to be PC.
I don't think that guy's PC. I don't think he's PC at all.
I also love when Jules said that asked Gil if he made more money his last year at Arizona than his first year in the pros. Very basketball. Shaq making more money in college.
Very
That-
basketball.
That was
Very good
awesome.
question.
That was awesome.
It was an honest question. I mean, jeez, I've seen it.
And then
Firsthand.
a little
Basketball, we need to do a basketball episode of
Oh,
this.
we have
I am fighting to
Years.
get Trey and Matt on and we talk I feel like they don't like that movie.
They have to love it.
I don't think they like it.
I love it.
I love it.
I love them.
I think South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut is a top 5 comedy of all time. It's a masterpiece.
Everything of what they do.
They're
Team
phenomenal.
America, not bad.
Team America's great. They're the best.
How have they not been thrown out yet?
They're grandfathered in, dude.
Grandfathered in.
Yeah, dude. And if people try to throw them out, we will fucking rally in the streets.
The Mr. Jackson shit is so funny on that damn show.
So good.
And then one last.
It's Mr. Hanky.
Mr.
Mr. Hanky.
I think it's Mr.
The poop.
Jackson.
No, Mr. Jackson was the Michael Jackson.
That was a
with,
good one.
the blanket
Mr.
and-
Jefferson.
And Mr. Jefferson. I love Chef. I was so sad when Chef left.
Although the way they killed him off was pretty badass. It's sad though because Isaac Hayes died, and I feel like they never patched it up. Fucking Scientology, dude.
Yeah.
He was cool making fun of everybody else.
Made fun of Jews, black people.
Draws the line at Elron.
Draws the line.
Latinos,
Yeah.
Ethiopians.
Can't let Elron down.
Yeah.
And then one last update
Big Elron.
on the those Saudi Knights jerseys, as we called them. Gil loved them. They only lasted 3 years.
They're awful.
Yeah.
It's hilarious that he loved them.
He loved them. He looked at us like we had a dick on our forehead.
I know. Which I think would look better than those jerseys, honestly. That's how bad I would rather have a dick on my forehead than wear
Like an actual dick or a painted dick.
painted. I don't want actual. I didn't know we were gonna dissect this one.
I don't know.
This
I was thinking about it.
What's the
Um,
name of the game? He called it the speed limit game, which is I love the name.
Is it 60?
I think of it as Gilbert's 60 piece on Kobe. That's how I think of the game, but I do love the speed limit. What do you think?
The Black Mongoose game.
The Black Mongoose. All right, let's do it.
Stakes.
Stakes are nothing. I mean, it's a
3.5.
regular season game. 3.5.
Star
Lower?
power.
Yeah, it's still Gilbert versus Kobe. Regular season. All
And
right, fine.
these were the two superstars. We're going 3-5.
Okay,
It's-
folks, no, that's fair. No, Kyler makes a good point. They were both 500 teams. These aren't high.
What year
stakes.
was this?
This was 06.
6.
You're right. I think
All right.
I'm 2-8 maybe. You're right. No
2-8.
stakes.
No stakes.
Star power is high because we
But
got
there was beef.
Kobe.
No stakes, but there was beef.
Got
That's my see. I hang out with a comic, and I'm just getting fucking funnier by the second.
That was clever.
That was good.
Okay.
just popped
Kyler's trying to lower the score of everything today. I don't like this. Star power's high, man. We got Kobe, we got Odom, we got Arenas, Karan Butler.
Yeah, but it's not Shaq and Kobe.
No, we're not going that high, but it's
Yeah, it's high.
Nicholson's there.
He was there.
Nicholson raises anything
He gets you a point.
easy.
He's like a 4-point guy for the spread for like an NFL team. If he doesn't play, you're dropping 4 points in the spread. Or if he does play, you're getting 4 points.
Is he Josh Allen right now?
For star power?
No, for points in the spread.
I don't think he's Josh Allen high right now. Because this in 70s or because this was late 2000.
Oh, dude, he's even bigger because it's like the legend of Jack. I think 2006 Jack is even bigger.
Is it?
Let's not
Yeah.
forget about Chris Mim. Chris Mim was out there.
Chris Mim is a big name, dude.
Star power a 7.8.
That's fair. That's a fair score. Kyler's all right. Reluctant. All right. Reluctant 7-8. Gameplay is a good game. If we're just going pure gameplay, overtime, a comeback.
45 from Kobe, 60 from a
I'm going like 8-7. If we're just doing gameplay, it's great
8-7.
basketball.
It was good. It was fun basketball.
Fun regular season basketball.
The name is not high either. This is not going to be a high. What the name? The Black Mongoose game. I like the name. It's funny. It does score points for being funny. It's not iconic. So how are we ranking it on being iconic or funny?
The speed limit of the Black Mongoose. We already locked her in.
The Black Mongoose game. So I don't know, like a 6-0. It's a funny name.
Yeah, and it's got some story behind it. You know, in some like National Geographic type shit.
Yeah.
All
I got a
right.
soft spot for that around.
This is a low score though.
Yeah. I mean, it's still no Shark Week.
A 6-3. All right, like, respectable. It's a regular. This actually, for a regular season game, is a pretty respectable score.
Yeah, by two teams under 500.
Yeah.
But they did have two ballers that we all loved watching at that time of basketball. So
A part of me wants to go higher on gameplay, but it's locked in. We can't do anything.
it's locked.
now.
Once it's locked, it's locked.
We can always review at the mid-season review show.
Mid-season review
We're-
show.
Right behind the this one lands us right behind the 2011 Stanley Cup final that came in at a 6-5, just ahead of the Giants Nationals belt dumper game, as it was known, 18 innings in the NLDS.
Belt dumper's worse than this?
I would agree with that.
I agree.
I agree.
This is that was a
18
fucking
into
snooze
baseball.
fest, that game. Come
All
on.
right,
Hence
all
was
right.
fun as hell, but that game was a snooze fest.
Kyler's upset. The Canucks game had a riot, so that was
And we ranked this higher than the Canucks?
just enough. Just
Sorry, hockey.
Suck it.
Hockey.
That's right.
What do they call hockey guys? Puckheads? You got seam heads for baseball. Football people
I've never even heard seam heads.
What are dimple
that
heads
known?
for golfers?
Hoop heads makes sense. Is that hoop heads? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, follow Games with Names on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, at Games with Names. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. Comment on a game you want us to do. Rate and review.
And that's all for this episode of Games with Names, presented by WynnBET. Thank you guys for listening. We had a lot of fun with this one. Gilbert Arenas, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Sam Morril, and we'll see you at the next game.